Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. How are we all doing today? I've been thinking about this painting a lot, and I said I was just going to go up here and do that. Yeah, no, I can't. We're going to do this film here because it's winding me up. Right, let's get going then. Here we go. Oh, hello. We're going to do this because I literally just can't do the top part. I can't bring myself to do it. And I know that sounds bloody ridiculous because, you know, I'm doing it. I'm going to do whatever I want in here. But no. Apparently my brain says no. As much as I wanted to do it and leave it to the end, we've changed track. We've changed track, not tack. Although that would have worked as well, I suppose. Let's start off with the one that only had 2 bits in it. Never mind. Let's do some number 4s. Right hand. How did your stream go last night? Sorry I was in there just lurking and not chatting. But I'm a celebrity, was I? I'm trying to lurk in as many people's streams as possible these days because I'm beginning to realise that us smaller creators, no matter how hard we try, we're never really going to get anywhere without numbers. So I decided that wherever possible, wherever I remember, and whatever equipment I've got to do it with, I'm going to at the very least just try and lurk in other streams, just to give some extra numbers, because of that whole thing of people not wanting to come in if the numbers are too low. So yeah, look forward to seeing me in lots of people's streams. Yeah. Four. Went well. Good. Do you know how to build a computer now? Has it literally taught you how to do it? Kind of funny how the brain works. Like I'd done nothing but think about this painting and think about what I'd said, and then realised that I just can't do it. Random Carl, how you doing, buddy? Lovely to see you in here. You, sir, are an absolute legend. Thank you so much for coming in. If you haven't followed Random Carl, he definitely deserves a follow. The guy is amazing. His community is completely awesome. I've done nothing but gush over the guy since I raided him 2 days ago. I think it was 3 days ago, something like that. But yeah, just drop him a follow. Just trust me on this. He's a good guy, and he has a lovely family from what I've seen, and they're all constantly laughing and smiling, and they're all helping each other, which, let's be fair, in this day and age is a rarity. So he's clearly doing something right. Yeah, I'm not too bad today. I took a day off yesterday because I used to stream a lot. I do almost 8 to 12 hours a day, and then I didn't get burnt out with streaming. I just started to go downhill health wise, of which I'm going to the doctors and hospitals about and whatever else. But so far they've not really found anything conclusive to turn around and say, it's that. Found loads of little things, you know, and little signs that something's happening, but nothing definitive. So I'm finding these days that my energy levels are gone. Like I would never have dreamed of only streaming for an hour and a half beforehand. just wouldn't have been in the scope. To be honest, I would have just carried on. But now it's a different matter, and I do moan about it a lot, and I do say a lot about it on stream and whatever else, because I'm just kind of venting and sharing my experience. Because, you know, if it does turn out to be a mental health problem, I kind of want to document it for other people. You know, when we were talking the other day about mental health, and I was saying about guys don't generally accept, acknowledge, or seek help for it. Well, I kind of wanted to be a guy that does that. And the more us blokes actually speak out about it, the more us blokes turn around and say, like, yeah, this isn't actually a thing that's destroying our lives, and we get over the stigma of you know, being ridiculed for it because we're guys. You know, you should just toughen up and get on with it and whatever else. Well, you know, blokes are kind of reaching the point now where we've toughed it out for long enough, and we're not getting anywhere by toughing it out. So how about we just ask for some help? And then also just to show like the differences from day to day. Like, I don't know if you're actually if you've actually seen my YouTube channel, Carl. It's the same name on there as what it is on here, Mark Buddy 143. And if you ever do get the chance to look at any of my previous videos and stuff, the one constant thing you'll hear me saying in there is how I'm feeling that day, and then also the things that actually prep me up, you know, and they don't have to cost anything. Like, I've always banging on about ring somebody, give somebody a call, even if you haven't spoken to them for ages, you know, because that one simple phone call can mean so much. Me raiding your room the other day, that I'm honestly, that was one of the best things I've done, because when you were really accepting and warm welcoming, right, and then your community followed suit. Oh, okay, no worries. Well, it's Mark Buddy 143 on YouTube. But you know, when we was talking about, and you were saying about being I'm a genuine guy and whatever else, I really appreciate it, because that's all I've ever been, is genuine. I've got no ulterior motive. And one of the best ways to see whether or not I'm actually a man of my word, and I am who I am, is to look at the past broadcasts, past contents and stuff, because I don't change. We pride ourselves on finding genuine, honest, like-minded people who appreciate real community and real support. Yeah, absolutely. And it shows, you know, and that's, you know, there's a lot of people out there. The other thing is, that was pointed out to me a while ago, is that there are so many grifters on Twitch, right? So many disingenuous people that are saying that they've got something wrong with them when they genuinely haven't, just to get the just to get money, just to get support, just to get followers, views, likes, and everything else. And then when us people come along and we've genuinely got provable stuff wrong with us, we're kind of met with skepticism. You know what I mean? And I know it's hard to differentiate the real from the fake, but we out here. But anyway, what are you up to today? What streams are you going to be doing today? And what time do you reckon you're going to go on? Because I may not have many people in here at the moment, but anything I can do to help people. Look, the way I look at it is that if somebody comes to your channel, to your Twitch and whatever else, and they decide that you're not for them, that's fine. Got no issue. We all have freedom of choice, right? But the fact that we're not actually reaching supplies. Code, how you doing? You genuinely do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Gotcha. But the fact that we're not even seen because of, you know, different systems that Twitch and everybody else puts in place means that we don't actually get seen. You know, if I hadn't have raided you, what would have been the odds of me actually coming across your stream one day, just as a viewer, not as a content creator? You know, Hey, ate my Iron Bane. How you doing? Lovely to see you in here. How you doing, Co? Still fighting the lurgy off, but feeling much better today. I love the fact that you're feeling better. Random calls. Oh, lovely to have you back in here again. See, this is proper and real support. This is the community that I'm telling you all about, that I was lucky enough to be introduced to just off of a raid that I did, and just a genuinely lovely bunch of people. How you doing, Mark? I hope you're well. I'm not doing too bad today. Like I said, I took a day off yesterday because I'm finding that my batteries are not lasting as long, right, as they used to. And that could be coupled with a bit of old age, but you know. So I took a bit of time for myself, and then I figured today I kind of woke up a little bit better, a little bit of a better frame of mind as well, and I just figured, sod it, I'm going to come in here and do this. And if I only manage an hour, I only manage an hour. If I manage more, great. If I don't, also great. The way I look at it is, at least I've done something today. I haven't just sat there and done bugger all, you know? And I think people underestimate, you know, just the little things in life, the small, tiny things that you can do, like getting up and having a shower. Everybody takes it for granted, right? But when you're down, when you're depressed, when you're so exhaustively tired you can't get out of bed, that shower actually becomes a bit of a victory to go and have it, you know? And even if you manage to do that, just give yourself a bit of a pat on the back. Because I guarantee you now, if most other people felt like you did, they wouldn't be showering either. Hey, it's Yellow Koala, how you doing? Nice to have you in here. But yeah, it's all just about looking after yourself as best as possible. And we all know how easy it is to wallow in self-pity. You know, we do it a lot because it's our natural thing. You know, when something happens that we don't particularly understand, that stops us from doing what we want, we do sit there and it's like, oh, why me, or why this and why that. And the thing is, that's fine to do for a while, but you've also got to come to realize that if there's nothing medically that can be done for you at the moment, right, you've got to live with it. And whilst living with it, you've absolutely got to try and still make each day count. Because as we all know, we only get one trip. We only get on this planet once. There's no, you know, take backs or can I go again? Taking a day off is never a bad thing. I was meant to do things on Sunday that I wasn't feeling great. So I decided, no, not today. And it was the best thing for me. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes people will kind of, you know, try and cheerlead you and like, oh, come on, get up and do this. Come on, get up and do that. You know, it's important to get up and do stuff. I completely agree, right? But it's equally just as important to sit and rest. Sometimes you just don't have it in you and you can actually do yourself a little bit more damage than good. But what I do say is that if you've woken up and that day is not your day, fine, take that day. But my advice here is that make sure that tomorrow you try even harder. And if that day's not the day, then fine, the next day. But again, try even harder than you've done before. And eventually you'll find yourself doing stuff. And don't set goals that are just too hard. You know, a goal could be anything. I'm going to brush my teeth today. You know, silly things. It's still a goal. Days off are 100% needed. I have scheduled a day off today. But sometimes I'll be like, sometimes I'll wake up and be like, okay, not today. And I started listening to my body. Yeah, exactly. Your body is there to tell you stuff, right? You know, and mental health is a bit of a problem because it usually means that your brain's kind of wired wrong. So you that's when you've got to work to get better. Hey, Kai, not Key, Kai. Kai, how you doing? Nice to see you back in here. But yeah, like you'll notice with me, the more you come in and see me stream and whatever else, I try and be as positive as I possibly can at that time. I don't always manage it. I don't. But I also learned a little while ago that not to shy away when I'm having a bad day. Because for somebody out there that's probably suffering with the same things I do, you have bad days as well. And why should you hide yourself away? Actually, maybe getting out there and showing people what it's like on a bad day might make them feel a bit better about their situation. Like, bloody hell, I do that too. I didn't realise that I could possibly have this or have that or whatever else. And it might engage somebody to actually get some help. Yeah, I'm doing too fine. I added you to the shout outs, Wayne, the disc. I thank you so much. Honestly, right? I know you said to me to remind you and whatever else. I didn't want to remind you because it to me it felt cheeky to remind. I figured that if you were able to do it and you wanted to do it, you would probably just do it off your own back. You know, look, I'm the type of guy. I'm an old school type of guy. I'm 48. You'll probably relate to this, right? You and I have up until the point where I had my accident. You and I have had to work for everything we've ever got. No one's really, stretched out the hand and said, "Ah, you ain't got to do that. We'll do this." Hey, MZ, how you doing? So we've worked for it, and it's very difficult for us to actually not accept as such, but to. Do you know what? I literally can't put that into words. I think you understand where I'm going with that. Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad you're having a good day today. It's nice to see people out there that are actually having good days. Because even if you're having a bad day, tomorrow's going to be better. And it's like I always turn around and say, right? And I do say this all the time. I heard this from a guru once. 5 million people didn't.
You look
get
a
the
bit
luxury
parched.
Wow.
Why don't you take a drink?
I will take a drink, actually, because I am properly thirsty. Thanks, Cone. And they turned around and said, 5 million people didn't get the ability of waking up this morning, which means there's 5 million families out there that are grieving for their loved one. You were one of the lucky ones. You woke up this morning. And if nothing else in your life you can be thankful for, be thankful for that. And I tell you what, that saying literally changed my life. Because it's true. There really is people out there that are worse off than you are. I've yet to meet the poor sod that's, worse than anybody else. Because let's face it, that's the one that needs the most help, right? Exactly. Kind of screwed my back today, so come lay down with the water bottle and I'll be good. Okay, MZ, can I give you a tip here? I'm no doctor. I'm just I've had I've got a back injury. I had it years ago, and I'll give you a little tip which they don't seem to want to give you anywhere else. So I'm guessing you've got a hot water bottle, right? So inflammation doesn't go down with heat. Inflammation goes down with cold, and the pain in your back is either a nerve being pinched or some kind of trauma to it. And the best thing to do is to put as cold a bottle of water on the area for about half an hour, and watch how good you feel after you've done that. And then if it's really stubborn, what you can do is you can alternate between hot and cold, hot and cold, hot and cold, and watch how quickly it goes away. Because the thing is, if you sprained your wrist, right, what's the first thing you do there? You put a cold compress on it. And it's the same thing with the back. Makes sense. But it'll be cold. Yeah, well, yeah, it is. It's not something I'd want to do on a daily basis. But honestly, it really does help with pain, because the heat actually keeps it, painful for longer. And that's genuinely my experience with it. Like I said, I'm no doctor, so just take what I say with a pinch of salt. I'm not expecting people to follow what I say to the letter or whatever else. My suggestion to you is Google it, and you'll see there's plenty of people on there that say the same thing. Physiotherapists and everything. That's one of the worst parts about having so much time on your hands. You become like this oracle of knowledge because you've done so much reading, because you've got so much time on your hands. And granted, not all of it's probably right, but I only generally tend to tell people stuff that I've personally done myself that worked for me at the very least. That way I feel like I can stay in the grey area. I have this every 3 months. Luckily, it's not as bad as normal, so I can move at least. Have you ever seen a decent chiropractor? One who actually knows what they're doing? Because you might find that there might be a vertebrae or something that's completely out of whack. It might be because you've got muscles in your back or your stomach that are not strong enough to carry you. I'm not saying that you're big or anything. I'm just saying that muscles play a huge part in it. It's like I've got to go in to have my gallstone removed soon, and when I get up and move around, I rely heavily on my stomach muscles, which most people kind of look at me and say, like, well, why is that? Well, because when I stand up, I tense all of my stomach muscles up, because all of my muscles in my back are pretty much gone there, what I had left. So I generally tend to use all my force from the front. Well, once they remove my gallstone, I'm not going to have the ability of doing that. So I said to the missus, like, I'm going to be so gutted just laying in bed and having you wait on me hand and foot. And it's really going to hurt me, I'm really going to feel real bad. Dear. I mean, the bed baths are going to be the worst, right? Just not going to enjoy that at all. Yeah. You having your gallbladder out? Yes. I have I think it's over a 3 centimeter gallstone, and then apparently the rest of it is packed with stones. I had pancreatitis a little while ago, which knocked me off my feet for over a month. I take high doses of Oromorph for my back, and I take Morphalgesic every single day and night, and I've never I broke my back, right? I can tell you now that gallstone attacks and pains and pancreatitis, breaking your back is nothing, and I do mean nothing compared to gallstone pain. I've never felt anything like it in my life. I had mine at 17 years ago. Gallstones, honestly, was worse than being in labour. They say it all the time. I've heard that said loads of times. I've been suffering with this now for a couple of years, because when it first happened, I thought I was having either a heart attack or something seriously was going on, and they put me down for an ultrasound scan, and they could see it clear as day on there. Because I've been having indigestion my entire life, and I was put on Zantac tablets since about the age of 15, 16. And when they actually found this, I was 44. Luckily, well, here's the thing, right? I'll be honest with you. It's nothing I haven't told anybody else anyway. I usually leave my book completely open, because that's just who I am. About 9-10 years ago now, I had a vagus nerve attack, so the doctor in the hospital said, and I passed out. I was convulsing on the sofa. I stopped breathing, and Christ knows whatever else. And ever since then, I've been suffering with really bad anxiety, like to the point where I couldn't be around my grandchildren, I couldn't be around my children. I didn't leave my room for more than 6 or 7 years. I still don't really leave my room now. At the moment, I'm in my computer room, which is just across the hall from my bedroom. I don't go downstairs because whenever I go downstairs, I feel even worse. Yeah, my life has been completely ruined. So when it come up to the scan, I was given like loads of diazepam and stuff to be able to get me to the hospital, and I managed to go and get the scan done. But the problem is getting the thing taken out. You know, I've got to have to go into hospital and have an operation, which happens to be my worst fear in the world ever, as it is for most people, right? Not all, but most. So the surgeon rung after I'd been on the waiting list for over 2 years, and I put the phone call on speakerphone, and he basically convinced me not to have it done, because he said that you'll be in more pain, there's more side effects of you having it taken out over keeping it. So I stupidly, and I will say this, stupidly listened to them, and I've still got it. And now I had that pancreatitis thing, which was all linked to my gallstone, and now they're trying to book me for the operation, which, no matter what happens to me in the time of doing it, I'm going, even if it kills me. And I can't impress on you all how much I mean that, because the tiredness that I'm feeling, the sheer exhaustion, not being able to get out of bed, not being able to sit and concentrate playing a game, not being able to spend time with my wife and my family, is just more side effects. Never had that. Honestly, I promise you, he was saying how bad it was to have your gallbladder taken out, because you're not going to absorb this, you're not going to absorb that, this is going to happen, you're never going to have a normal bowel movement again. And forgive me for saying this, probably an overshare, but since I've had this, as bad as what it is, I don't even know what a normal bowel movement is. I'm sure you could probably remember back to when you had yours, but you know. So, and I listened to him stupidly. He made me believe that I could just control it by diet. Now, just to fill you guys in on something, around 4 years ago, like I said, I'm a transparent open book. Around 4 years ago, I weighed around 35 stone. Take a phone, be in Discord, you'll be fine with friends. Do you know, I might actually do something like, because honestly, I've got all of the I've got iPad and whatever else. But yeah, 4 years ago, I used to weigh around 35 and a half stone, and currently right now, I've lost just over 10 stone, and I did that by using the Slimming World diet, and then actually just changing the way that I eat and stuff. My clothes now look, well, it honestly, if any of you go to my YouTube channel and look at any of my previous thank you, if any of you look at my previous streams and whatever, you'll see me on there. I literally lifted up my t-shirt once, not to show my stomach and whatever else, because I look awful, right? But just to show that you could probably get 3 people in my t-shirt now with me. Even the t-shirt I'm wearing now, it's like a good 5 sizes too big for me. It's ridiculous. But I'm not going to go and buy any clothes at the moment. I'm just going to live in what I've got, because I'm not where I want to be. And I'm not also going to allow myself to be comfortable at the moment in what I wear, because I want that motivation to carry on doing it, you know? I know it's probably not the right thing to do, but I don't want to be this size anymore. I've always been big. I got much bigger after my accident, as you can imagine.